Hi, besties. Welcome back. Okay, we have some updates from last week. I know we were talking about Disney and Universal like theme park bags, what kind of bags we're bringing, what's like the cool girl thing. And we were debating between like a Baggu bag or like this dupe from Uniqlo. And I went out and got the dupe from Uniqlo, but it's not as big as I think we were imagining. So then Shanique and I overnighted the Baggu bag.
Yeah,
And I've yet to open mine.
but I'm obsessed and I fully understand the hype on this bag. First of all, she is perfectly big, but not big. Like it doesn't look like this huge bag. Like it looks just like a cutie little bag, but she fits so much. I was able to fit my entire camera with the microphone on it, not detaching the microphone, throw it in. There's still so much space left in there. It is not heavy at all. It's just beautiful, perfect. You can wear it crossbody. You can wear it like just as a shoulder bag, and it's amazing. And I will be taking it to every single theme park from now on. It is my theme park bag. I understand why people use it as their theme park bag. I will be taking it on my trip that I'm going on. I will be taking it to Volcano Bay. I feel like it could work as a beach bag. Like I'm obsessed with her. I will be adding pins. I will be adding bag charms to it. Like I fully get it and I understand why people pay the $52 at first. It was a little like jarring, not gonna lie, but I would pay the $52 again. Now, we still need to try her out like in a full day, but as of right now, I would pay the $52 again.
This is not an ad, by the way. We're
I
not
wish,
sponsored by them. I
unless
wish.
Baggu, if you want to send some stuff over.
I had also just seen a video like a few days ago of someone being like, well, back in March, Nordstrom Rack was having a sale on Baggu bags and they were selling them for
Oh,
like 10 or no, $16 or something. And I was like,
what?
the way I just dropped $52 on a 16, potentially $16 bag, I will never recover.
No,
And I'm
I didn't need
sure,
to know that.
yeah, I'm sorry. I honestly, well, for everybody else who might be interested in one, maybe just like if you don't need it right away, because for us specifically, I feel like we needed it for our circumstances right away. But if you don't need it right away, maybe wait for sales on like, because they're sold in like Urban Outfitters,
Yeah.
Nordstrom Rack, Amazon. So I'm sure that they go on sale. So maybe wait for a sale because I still feel like, I mean, I have yet to use it again, but I still feel like $52 for a bag in general.
It's a lot.
I don't really drop a lot of money on bags that I buy personally. Like I got mine from like Target for like 12 bucks. So $52 is like a lot.
It's a lot, but it's honestly such nice quality too.
Is it?
So, yeah. So I like kind of get it and yeah, I will just say I kind of get it and I do want more colors, but obviously I'm not going to buy another one unless it goes on sale cuz I got it in black, so it'll match pretty much everything.
We need to take them to Volcano Bay and test them out
We
because
should. Cuz I feel like okay,
you
it's
think it's good
such
for
a
the
nice
towel?
size. Honestly, if you fold
Like
the
a small
towel
towel.
small, yeah, you probably can fit a towel in there. And like, I know for us, we always bring like our books and stuff to Volcano Bay. And I feel like it would fit a full hardcover book in there if we really wanted it.
Like
And
full
like,
hardcover, sunscreen, Volcano Bay cup. Because like if we could fit
yeah,
all that and the towel has to hang around the side, I'm okay with that.
yeah. No, I think it would. I saw somebody put in an entire water bottle in theirs.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a Stanley sized water bottle, not some little baby one.
Oh my God. Okay, then
So,
we need to go
yeah,
to Volcano Bay.
we need to
And
go to Volcano Bay.
can we just, okay, we need to talk about Volcano Bay for a second because
Yes.
Volcano Bay is unbiasedly the best water park in Orlando, in my opinion.
Agreed.
That they do everything from the little details with like, you know, when you walk around a water park and the floor gets so hot during the summer, they have built-in sprinklers that spray on the floors to keep your little tootsies warm. I mean, cold, not warm, cold. So they cool down the floors as you're walking on them, which is like you wouldn't
It's
think, but
so
you're like,
genius.
that's so genius.
The tapu tapus, I think, is genius because then you're not wasting your day just waiting in lines because you
Yes.
just come back. Yeah, I love that park. I will say, little caveat: we say it's the best park. because obviously we are adults and it's the best park for us. If you have little kids, like tiny little babies, I don't think this is the best park for them. I think Volcano Bay is definitely geared towards an older audience because you have like the bars and all the big rides. But for us, I think it's the best park out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, my friend came for her birthday and she brought her daughter, and her daughter was, I think, almost a year old. And they had rented out a cabana, and essentially, always a parent was just staying with their daughter the whole time because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's almost like, what is she gonna do at a water
Yeah.
park? She's barely a year. But I will say, if you have like a toddler that can fully walk, like maybe a 3, 4 year old, I don't know if that's toddler, but if you have a three, four
Yes.
year, yeah,
Right.
right?
Right.
If you have a 3, 4 year old that can go on slides on a playground, can go on stairs, and can like walk properly, there's a huge kiddie area.
No,
And like
that's true.
that kiddie area is massive. There are smaller slides and bigger slides for bigger kids, like probably 6, 7, 8 year old. There's like a bridge you can walk across. It's like massive, but there's a good range. There's like a little splash pad. So that area is pretty big, and I feel like you could spend a long time there, tire out your kid, and then go back and like take a nap or something. But that's the only thing that I feel like is good for the little ones. Because aside from that, like you said, everything is more geared toward older kids and
Yeah.
adults.
But it's
And
still just such a good park. It's like the perfect park for the summer here in Orlando. I told Tamia this the other day. I was like, you are not asking me to go to a theme park for the next 4 months. Maybe an Epcot festival. Obviously, Epic Universe is an exception. Besides that, don't talk to me about a theme park unless it's Volcano Bay.
yeah, it's just so hot here. Like, especially
It's
if
so
you're
hot.
not used to it, which is also crazy because I feel like us living here,
We
we
should be
have
used to
to,
it.
but we have to like re-climatize ourselves to it every year because we go through this stage where like right now this morning it was like 73.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. But then midday it goes up to like 90. Or and then during the summer it'll go up to over 100. So
plus
like
humidity.
plus humidity. And the sun is just it's I swear the sun gets stronger in the summertime. Like
So
I'm
bad.
not joking. But it's so awful here, and so I feel like we have to readjust to it every year because we get used to the cooler temps, and then it's like, "Oh, I forgot how stinking hot it is." I personally, after a while, I feel like I adjust to it and I get used to it. But for some people who are warm-blooded like Shanique,
I do
she
not. I struggle. I bring a fan with me to the parks all summer, and it is not enough. I will complain the entire time I'm there, and I will make it everyone's problem that it's freaking hot. I absolutely hate it. I go because I love the parks, but I absolutely hate every single second that I'm there. So actually, if you're the same way and you have figured out how to do the parks in the summer, besides just having a little fan, let me know all your tips and tricks because I die every single time and I'm surprised by it every single year. You would think after living here for years and living in Florida my entire life, like I would be used to this. But every single time when it switches from this nice, cool weather to the disgusting hot sun, I'm like, what the heck? Since when is it so hot here? So yeah, I don't think I'll ever get used to it.
maybe you need to invest in like a spray misting fan.
Maybe, but I still feel like that's not enough.
I
I
mean,
just
probably not, but it'll probably be better
it
than just
would
a
probably be
fan.
better.
And just get one that you can like wear as like a satchel around your like a crossbody.
I don't know. I need to do something because my tiny little baby fan does not do enough. I saw one on TikTok Shop that almost got me the other day.
Mhm.
This person actually had a really great ad for this, and I hate to give it to them because it's TikTok Shop. But he had like dry ice in a bowl, and then he had this fan, and you just saw the fan like suck up all the smoke from the dry ice to see like the power of it. And I was like, ooh, that one looks like it might actually do something for
Did you
me.
get it?
I didn't. I with TikTok Shop, I always say that I have to see a video like so many times before I
Before you
can
get it.
even add it to my cart, and then I still have to watch like 50 more videos before it gets checked out.
Okay, well if you do end up getting it, let me know. I
I will.
would
I'll
like
let
to
you
know if
know.
this fan is all powerful.
I will. Talking about TikTok, the only thing that has been on my page this entire week has been the Tarte brand trip to Key Largo. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God. So, okay. One, I will say, I know the Tarte brand trips are controversial because they obviously like gift influencers so much free stuff and people don't love that. But this trip is different because it's half influencers and then half um people that were affected by like the LA wildfires or like the floods in North Carolina and like first responders, and it's like all of their customers that they brought, which I think is like honestly really smart on their part to
Wow. So they
do
actually
that.
listened
Yeah,
to their audience for once? That's crazy.
they actually listened. And it is a smaller trip. It's not like in one of their islands, but it's still in Key Largo, which they did an all-inclusive resort, and everyone has the cutest little bungalows, and they have a little like customized tart pool in their backyard, and it's all cherry themed, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it all because I need to go on a Tarte brand trip one day. I will be on a Tarte brand trip one day. I know I don't post any makeup content, so I don't know how the heck I will get there, but I will be on a Tarte brand trip one day.
Just so you guys know, this is all Shanique talks about to me. Every time Tarte comes up or the brand trips come up, all she says is like, my one goal is
I
to go on this Tarte brand trip and I will make it. And this girlie is manifesting hard because every other day she's like, I will do it.
So this goes to say, if you guys start seeing me posting makeup content all of a sudden,
Mind your business.
mind your business. But like for real, because okay, here's the thing: is that Tarte started doing these trips. I know people think they're new. Tarte started doing these trips when we were in like middle school or high
No,
school.
they're really old.
They're really old, and it was like the dope girls back then with like Emma Chamberlain and
Yeah.
Ellie Thuman and all of them. They would get invited, and ever since watching those trips, I was like, I need to be on here. And then they stopped for a while, which is why people think they're new. And then coincidentally, Tarte started doing them again when I started making content and focusing on content. And I mean,
Crazy.
I'm just saying, like, that's not a coincidence. So clearly, they're just waiting for me to step my game up to send me that invite. And I will be on a Tarte trip. I don't care how controversial they are.
Could you imagine if one of our episodes we were just like, "Hey guys, we're here from the
Tarte
Maldives.
Island, hashtag tripping with Tarte.
We're tripping with Tarte. Crazy. Guys,
I,
manifestation is real."
I would literally die. I know I talk about like people not begging to go on trips and stuff. So this is not me begging to Tarte. This is just me manifesting very, very hard on a platform that no one listens to on.
100%.
So
Right.
just putting that out there. But no, this trip actually looks really nice and it's like all cherry themed. I don't know if they're launching a new, usually it's with like the launch of a new product. So I'm sure there's some cherry themed product that Tarte is launching. But I just like that they're doing the whole bringing customers along to it and it not
Yeah.
just being fully influencers.
Yeah, and I do like that they picked people who were actually affected by natural disasters and stuff.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they
that's
have
really nice.
some new influencers going, not new, but like people that they haven't invited before. And there's one of them, they have like a family channel. It's called like the Aguilars. And the girl brought her mom, and her mom is so funny and so cute. She was like, "Oh, this is normal for us. This is normal." And this is like their first brand trip they've ever been on. But her mom's like, "Why are you so surprised? This is normal."
That's so
And I just
funny.
love them.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. Anyways, we can move on.
Yeah, I really do need to go on a brand trip. Okay, but my thing with like content is we're on the struggle bus here a little bit because obviously you have to post on all platforms.
Right.
Even if one is like going to be like end goal is YouTube forever and always. But you have to post across all platforms. That's at least what I'm told by other
Yeah.
content creators. And the problem here is end goal is YouTube. YouTube is horizontal footage.
Yep.
Everything else is vertical footage. Do you see the problem? Need I
Yes.
even say more? How are you doing it? Because I feel like sometimes what I end up doing is I film in 4K on horizontal. And when you film in 4K on horizontal, you can crop in and it won't get blurry
Yeah.
because it's 4K. So in that sense, you can kind of reuse the content, even though it won't look the best because it's like really zoomed in sometimes. But like
Mm-hmm.
you can still reuse it and you can still use it for TikTok and Instagram and whatever. But I feel like majority of the time I find myself filming everything twice. Like I'll literally film something on my phone or on the DJI in vertical and then I flip it and then I say the exact same thing. The only difference is for vertical stuff, I end up making everything that I'm saying and doing a lot shorter versus YouTube, I end up chatting a lot more and talking more because I like my long videos. So
Yeah.
it sounds so inefficient. Like I feel like we could come up with a more efficient process.
Yeah, it's hard because sometimes I try filming them at the same time and like I'll set my phone up and then have my camera, but then I end up
You're
having to
looking at
cut
one.
out so much. And then, yeah, I'm looking at one and not the other one. So it feels like off. But then it's also hard because the type of content that you want to post on every platform
It's different.
is different. Like it all shouldn't be the same thing over and over again, which is what I struggle with the most because right now I'm basically just reposting my TikToks on every platform and then YouTube gets its own like dedicated video that's usually different. But that's still not the right thing to do either because what works on TikTok is not necessarily what works on Instagram or what works on YouTube Shorts or Pinterest or Snapchat or wherever the heck else we're posting. So like yeah, I also struggle because I don't know what to do and I don't know what to focus on either because there's people that are like, well, TikTok's going down the drain, so like you need to focus more on Instagram and YouTube Shorts. But then there's people that say the opposite and are like, no, Instagram's dead, like go to TikTok. So yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
the answer.
And then also each social platform, like you said, has like a completely different vibe.
Right.
Because like, okay, there's this one person who I've seen on my feed and they're trying to be a content creator. And their videos are filled with them talking to the camera and then them narrating also at the like jumping between the two, like kind of
Mm-hmm.
like scripting it out. Um, Lots of text,
Yep.
lots of transitions, lots of sound effects, lots of this and that. And their videos aren't doing very well. And I feel like it's because if you did that on YouTube, oh, you would do so good. High production videos on YouTube, I feel like do so well if it obviously reaches the correct audience, but people always give credit where credit is due for a lots of effort in editing and whatever on YouTube. But on TikTok, I feel like highly edited videos do well, but only if it looks like it wasn't highly edited and there wasn't a script and there wasn't a lot of effort in it. Because the second it looks like you put a lot of effort in it and it's a ton of stuff on the screen and tons of stuff are going on and it isn't like smooth, and if it's obvious that you put a lot of work into it, people aren't going to like it on TikTok because on TikTok people want low effort, like casual vibe, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like TikTok, the high production only works if you're the first to do it. Like, I don't know if you've seen that narrator trend that's been going
Or the
around
Lizzie McGuire one.
or the Lizzie McGuire one. Like, the first people who did it, their videos blew up because it was cool, it was different. People like appreciated it. But now that there's a ton of people doing them, I see people having the opposite reaction and being like, ugh, I hate all of these. Like, why is everyone doing this trend? Why are we like putting all this effort? So I feel like if you're the first to like, do all of these things, it's really, really cool. But yeah, then people want the more casual, like, oh, I just picked up my phone. I see there's a person, his name is, I think Brand Flakes is his handle. And he's the one who went viral like a couple months ago for saying like how much money he made on TikTok last year. And he's does a podcast too, and he was talking about how some of his best videos are him just picking up his phone and going outside and like walking and talking to the phone, but which looks really low effort, but he has a lot of planning that goes into this those videos. Like he has a very set style, like we start with this and then we have 3 points that we talk about and then there's a finisher. So there is a lot of effort being made, but it
Yeah.
just looks effortless. And those are like some of his best performing videos. So obviously people want just like a more casual vibe on TikTok, but then on Instagram, it's the complete opposite. Like
Yes.
people want the more curated feeds. And if you just have like a random clip from your video as your thumbnail on Instagram, then people think your Instagram looks messy and it's supposed to look all put together. And then people have the more like B-roll style videos with all the information in the captions. And like, I don't know what to do because I don't want to have to make 50 different styles of videos in
I know.
order to succeed on every platform.
I know, and I feel like unless you're really big on TikTok, where like your videos get like millions and millions of views, and then you repost those to Instagram, those do good on Instagram because you already have a following who just people will just watch you. And
Exactly.
those people repost their stuff and they're like more TikTok style videos, but they do well on Instagram and YouTube Shorts because they're just like they're
They
big
have
now.
followers everywhere. Yeah, people will
Yeah.
love anything that they post. But if
Right.
you're a smaller creator trying to grow, it's a lot harder, I feel like.
Which I tried to do that for a while. I tried to only put my more aesthetic TikTok videos onto Instagram when I was doing it without the automation. Some of my videos, my more aesthetic ones, did really well. But even now, when the automation repurposes a more aesthetic video, it does well. So,
Yeah.
like, I feel like if I also add in the non-aesthetic videos, I'm potentially just like adding more chances for those videos to see new people. But I don't really feel like there was a big difference in terms of algorithm and growth and engagement on just posting aesthetic videos on Instagram versus posting everything on Instagram. But I feel like it's more okay to do the same thing across the vertical platforms than it is to do all of your TikToks, Instagrams, unless you make them like trailers to feed people to your YouTube.
Hmm.
I feel like your TikToks and Instagrams and shorts should be different from your long form YouTube videos. Because then what's the point? People who like short form videos won't have a reason to go watch your long form videos.
Yeah, my long form videos are definitely different. But even, I do agree it's okay to have the same stuff across platforms. But at the same time, I always think about like, if I have this following on TikTok, I have a lot more followers on TikTok than I do on Instagram. And I want to push to Instagram because if TikTok does go away for whatever reason, like I want to have a backup. But if I'm just posting the exact same stuff that I post on TikTok to Instagram, why would people who follow me on TikTok already want to go and follow me on Instagram, you know?
I feel like the best way that I've seen it done is if you tease pictures you took
Hmm.
instead of showing them all on your TikTok video, like when you go around with your digicam and we do the videos where like you show the pictures you took, like in your little vloggy style thing. If you're like, oh my God, we just took the cutest pictures, head over to Instagram if you want to see those. And like, but like
Yeah.
actually don't even show them. Like make people go to your Instagram if they really want to see the pictures. And so I feel like
Yeah.
the only way to feed people is through picture incentive because that's the only advantage Instagram has is the picture form layout, which
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like you have to have different content on each platform.
I see what
And
you're
it
saying now.
takes a lot to do. I know people are always like, oh, being a content creator is so easy. And like, it is, don't get me wrong, way
It's
easier than my,
easier than any corporate job or even like
yeah,
any
way
type
easier than
of
my
job.
corporate job for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely just complaining to complain. But it does take more effort than people think.
Yes.
And like just having to make all this content is a lot for different platforms, which is why, as of right now, it's just a lot of the same content being published across my different things. But I do need to be better at doing it. I'm trying to be better at Instagram stories, especially because I feel like that's also a different thing that Instagram has. I know TikTok also has TikTok stories, but I don't think people really care about them as much on there. Like anytime I post a TikTok story, I think it gets like 10 views, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that was a waste of my time. But Instagram, like people actually watch Instagram stories. So I'm trying to be better at posting Instagram stories every day and like posting something different or posting like behind the scenes or whatever.
I know, but the only problem with yes, I agree. I'm also trying to post more on my stories. I try to post about like, oh, what I had done that day or like
Right.
whatever, right? But the problem with Instagram stories is I feel like they don't have to be, I guess, but I feel like they need to be aesthetic. They need to have a filter on them. The text needs to match, like it all needs to be color coordinated. It all needs to look like super aesthetic and pretty because that's what Instagram will always be is like a Pinterest highest level aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
vibe. And so that's so much effort. Like if I'm going out and doing something random, if I'm just doing normal stuff around the house and I need to clean my house so not everything is like aesthetic in there. I don't want to try and take a picture and get the lighting right and do all this and put all this effort in for an Instagram story. Like I
Yeah.
so then I just don't end up posting on Instagram story.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like videos on Instagram story, like short clips, don't matter as much on the aesthetic. Because when I went to Epic, I did like a pan of Super Nintendo World. And obviously, it's beautiful, but I didn't put any effort into editing that. And it was like
Yeah.
4 seconds. And I think that's fine. And I just added some audio on top of it. But I agree with like pictures. I do always try to like, make it aesthetic and try to edit them because even when I'm looking at the influencers that I follow, again, it seems so effortless,
But it's not.
but it's not because when I actually like stop and stare, it's like, okay, obviously you didn't place your plate of food right there with the coffee mug, with the candle, with this beautiful lighting coming in through the window. Like that was obviously a curated picture. Same with like the outfit photos in front of the mirror. Yeah, it looks so effortless, but like, did they probably take 50 pictures to get the perfect outfit photo with the perfect lighting? 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I get it. It's a struggle, but that's the
But we're also
game.
just complaining
Yeah,
because we want to do
that's
this as a job. So
that's the thing. I feel like it's switching the mentality from I'm just making content, which I still want it to be fun. Like, don't get me wrong. I still want it to be fun. Obviously, I don't ever want to feel like making content isn't fun, but it's switching the mentality from like, oh, I'm just posting silly little videos to like, this is a job and I actually have to put in effort and I can't complain about having to put in effort if I want
because
to
that's
do
what you want to do.
this.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's a person I follow, I forget her name, but she has such good YouTube videos. And if I remember it, I will edit it on top of this or something. But she has such good YouTube videos because she does vlogs, but she's a full-time content creator and she does like work with me for the day, but it's like just as a content creator. And she talks about like having to set up her schedule to like, film content and like the best way to do this and the best way to switch that mentality. And like, I love her for it because she's so right. And we can't just keep acting like it's silly little videos because it's not.
I know every single creator that I watch who does it full time will have like work with me or like, spend a weekend with me or spend a week with me,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And they are like the most organized
I know.
people. Like they have a shared calendar with their manager and their agent to know exactly what days, what brand deals need to be posted, what videos need to be posted, which videos she needs to film on which
Yep.
days, and like when she needs to edit them, when she needs to review her editor's like YouTube stuff for herself. Like, and she literally works 9 to 5. And
Yeah.
then she says she always tries to give herself 2 days off in the week, but sometimes she ends up working through those days too if she's like that busy. I'm just like, I'm not even that organized in my normal life right now. Like,
No.
I'm really trying hard to be, but like, am so all over the place, especially when we have so many things going on. I need to be that organized to make this a full-time job, like to put this much effort into it so it can actually become a full-time job.
Like my personal life is a mess. I've
Yeah.
tried so hard to organize my content, like multiple times. I've tried every single system. There is one that has worked better than others, which is Notion,
Yes.
but still,
'Cause I fall off that.
I fall off that too, and I suck so much.
Oh, in the beginning of the year too, like you and I were so on it.
Oh God.
So we need to do a
So
content
Q3.
retreat. Okay, but in the beginning, like we would meet up and we would plan out every month. We would meet up at the beginning of every month or the end of every month and like plan out the content for every week for YouTube and then kind of like jumble in there some stuff for short form, which I feel like should have been more
We should have
that should have
focused
been
more on that. Yeah.
yeah, and that should have been even more structured than just like, oh, I'll just make a random video because
Yeah.
the short form's even worse because for short form you post more often.
Right.
So like that should be even more organized than YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I think my thing with short form is that short form is easier for me to film because
Yeah.
I know what my short form content is. Like, I know my niche, I know this type of stuff that I like to film. So it's easy enough for me to just come up with an idea last minute and go out and film it and do it and post it. Versus YouTube, I need to be way more organized and be like so far in advance with it because I need time to film the full 40-minute video, which is usually hours and hours worth of footage, and then actually like sit down and edit it and have it scheduled for the right day. So that's why I think I didn't focus so much on short form, but we should actually have a better strategy for it too.
Because also now I think we've started to film YouTube videos over the course of a week,
Right.
whereas or even multiple weeks, whereas before we didn't do that. We like filmed it in one day.
Yeah.
And I think we okay, when are we doing our staking? We can actually get, maybe once you come back and give it some time, we'll do
Yeah.
something in the next couple months and
Yeah.
we'll do because
The only thing we've been consistent with is this podcast
yep, the only thing we have posted on the day we say we're gonna post
every week is
every
this
week is
podcast.
this, which maybe that's saying something. Maybe this podcast is the way to go for us because we've stayed consistent
We
because we
say,
keep each other accountable. But
I will say I have all my YouTube videos planned out in my head for May. I know exactly what I'm posting this entire month. So go
okay,
on and subscribe, besties.
but did you put it in your Notion?
It's not, but it's because this entire month is my trip on YouTube. So I know I'm doing like the pre-trip video, and then I'm breaking it up into three parts for like the three different pieces of our trip. So those are going to be three more videos, and now we have four, and now May is over and I don't need to plan it.
Oh, I see. So it was a very easy.
It's a very easy month. There's one more that I need to put in beforehand that I'm filming Friday. Up, right.
Right.
And I will edit it on the plane. I got 9 hours to edit.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Right.
And it will be posted on time.
On time. 24 hours minimum beforehand scheduled.
Yeah. That's not gonna happen, let's be honest.
Yeah, I also have so many factors that I'm still trying to build my PC because the computers that I have hate me when it comes to editing videos. And I'm so close. Like I am more than halfway there with all the pieces that I need. And every month I'm buying like 2, 3 parts for my computer. And I got some for my birthday. So I'm like almost there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like once I have my PC, it'll have so much space and power and whatever to be able to do everything that I'm like, oh my God, my PC comes. Even though I have a cute little desk setup sitting in front of me right now with my monitors and my cute little keyboard, everything is aesthetic. I keep getting stuck on it in my head. Like, no, once the PC comes, then I'll be able to sit down. I'll do my little click clacking away at Notion every month. I'll be super productive. I'll be sitting at my desk all the time, actually working for content creation. And so until then, I just kind of like go and edit in my living room, in my reading chair, in my bedroom, like wherever. And I feel like it gives a more casual vibe and not like a work vibe. So then I feel like that disrupts the whole professional aspect of it and like treating it like a job. And then I feel like that's just not helping.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and burst that bubble for you because let's be so totally honest, that might work for like a month and then you're gonna jump off of that because I do the same thing but with planners. I'm like, once I have the perfect planner, I'm gonna be so put together and I'm gonna put everything out on time and I'm gonna work perfectly. And I have like the best desk setup in my opinion. Like I have a huge screen, so I'm like, I'm gonna sit at my desk and I'm gonna edit this video, and I do it for like 2
Everyone, please, please pause.
and I do it for like 2, 3 weeks, and then I stop. So I'm gonna go ahead and burst that bubble for you because that's, I know you. It's not gonna work that way.
Just let me live my life. Let me think that I will be productive for some part of my time.
Right, right.
So anyway, content creation is so much fun.
Content creation is fun. We complain because we need things to complain about in our
Because we
life.
just like complaining. I like complaining.
But it's really not hard. Or
No,
not that hard, I guess.
it's not hard. It's not like it's difficult. It's not like
It's not
if
the end
you
of the
are
world.
actually, yeah, if you are actually that scheduled and organized, it is not even a 40-hour week. Like if you are that organized, it becomes a more than 40-hour week job because you're like us and you don't plan and then you spend hours editing and you don't edit a little bit every day. Instead, you sit
And you
down,
scramble at the last minute to try to
but then
find
you,
content.
yup, and then it takes you way longer because you don't have a plan for the video. So you're just talking about stuff and half that footage gets cut anyways. So, it's really not that much work. It's just we make it a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a self-inflicting wound, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you know what? Manifesting. We will have
Manifest.
our life together by
Yep.
the end of the year.
We've been saying that and it's almost May.
This is our year, to me.
This is our year.
This is
We are
our
going to
year.
be full-time content creators by the end of this year.
We are. We are.
Everyone come together. We're having a little manifesting circle really quick. I want you to repeat after me.
Right.
I will be a full-time content creator by the end of 2025.
I will be a full-time content creator by the end of 2025. My boss listening to this is like, wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah. Our
Excuse you?
like our corporate jobs are like, and you will be fired by the end of. Let's not
And
put that out
you
there.
will not have a job. So you better hope that one works for you.
Yep. Yeah. No. If you're my boss,
You didn't
please
hear that.
don't listen.
If you're my boss, I will be a full-time corporate worker by the end of the year.
I am a full-time corporate worker, and I will be a better employee than I am now because I am all about bettering myself for my team and
Here,
for
here.
our department.
A second. But all jokes aside, this is fun. So if you've been wanting to be a content creator, just start. It's actually really fun.
It is really fun. And it even is more fun if you don't let the numbers get to you. Because I think
Yeah.
that's what discourages a ton of people is they want to be rich and famous right off the bat. And like, not saying we want to be famous. The rich part, I wouldn't mind. But I don't really care about being famous. But like essentially if you don't like blow up right away. I did TikTok for 2 years? Think 2 years until my TikTok actually blew up. And I wouldn't even say that it blew up because realistically, I'm still a very small content creator. But like, I got a little bump, like a little boost after the 2 years.
Yeah.
That's 2 years
And
of
I
post.
know, yeah, and I know even for the people that do seem like they blew up overnight, a lot of times they didn't. A lot of times they've been posting for years, but finally their content does blow up and then people are like, "Oh my God, I just found you. Like you're my favorite." It's so
Yeah.
crazy that you like did this overnight. But for most people it doesn't really happen overnight unless you're like
Well,
insanely lucky.
even the people who ended up following me after I got laid off and I got that boost, I'll have people comment being like, I've been watching you since your HHN videos, or like, I've been watching you since the very beginning, since you lost your job. And like, I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. But
They're
that
like
was
that
not the
wasn't not the
beginning.
beginning.
The
Yeah.
beginning was 2 years before that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's never as it seems, but also just don't get discouraged and just do it if you think it's fun.
Right.
Because if you're just doing it because you think it's going to be an easy job, us relaying for the past 20 minutes of how much work it actually is should have made you think twice about, oh, I'm just going to do it because it's easy. Like, yes, you can make $20,000 off of a 30-second ad, which is
Crazy.
insane to think about. And yeah, that does seem like not a lot of work, but to get to that point to even land those things, there's a lot of work that has to go into like your videos beforehand. Not saying it's harder than a regular schmegular job, but like it is still work and you have to commit a lot of time to it. And so unless you actually enjoy doing it, I feel like that's where people start falling off is because they don't actually enjoy doing it, so they don't end up staying consistent
Right.
because it's not fun. It's just something that they're like, oh, I got it. I have to do it so I can be a full-time content creator. Like, no, then I don't think it's gonna work out.
No. And I mean, you should still take it seriously, but like Tamia said, don't ever let it get so serious that you stop having fun. Yeah, it should. And don't be afraid to try different things either. Just because you start off with one thing or like one style of editing, if you ever get to a point where you're like, I hate this and I hate my videos
Start
and
changing.
they're not doing anything for me, just change it. Like, especially if you don't have that many followers. I know that's where people get stuck a lot too. It's like, well, I don't want to change my niche, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that, because then I'll lose like the followers that I have, which like possibly, truly, and it will be hard. But what's the point? Like, there's barely anyone watching you anyway, so who cares?
I was debating kind of switching up my niche for YouTube and doing more backstage stuff and like doing more chatty videos and not necessarily like every single video is a theme park video and basically replicating TikTok but to YouTube. And so doing more like at home stuff, crafts, games, outfits, like more like, you know, day-to-day things on YouTube. And I was debating switching it or maybe I was like, oh, but then my niche is already theme parks. So like I can't change it. Maybe I should make a new account. But my friend made a great point. I have 2,500 subscribers. Don't get me wrong, that's a great number. But like realistically, that's not a lot. And
That's not a
so
lot, yeah.
she was like, well, why wouldn't you just switch it now? It would be worse if you had 100,000 subscribers and then you tried switching your niche and all those 100,000 people were like, well, what the heck? We really liked seeing this one thing. Now you want to switch it to something else. So like when you have a smaller following is the time to switch up a niche and figure out exactly what types of videos you really like doing for a long period of time and wouldn't get tired of because like Shanique said, you have a small following. Like that's when you should be switching it up.
Yeah, exactly. It's no big deal.
And it's just the internet. Just
It's
don't put
just the
anything out
internet
there
at the
that
end
you
of the
don't
day.
want. Yeah. And don't put anything out there because the internet is forever. People really seem to be forgetting that. Uh, we were taught that as like in elementary school and middle school, like don't put things out on the internet because internet's forever. Be careful of what you put out there. I feel like that's not really said anymore because the internet is so common that for people to just put everything out there,
Yeah,
the internet is forever, guys.
the internet is still forever. And it will come back and haunt you one day.
Anyway, I feel like this was a very ranty podcast. So I'm sorry if you got really bored halfway through.
But if you stayed this long, thanks, you guys.
Thanks for listening. And I promise we'll have more interesting things to talk about next time.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, thanks for chatting. Thanks for listening. I hope you had a wonderful drive or whatever you were doing. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.